Hi, everyone.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Mira. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
And
Hello.
hi.
Hello,
Hey, Bill.
good evening.
Evening. Hey, Shashikala, Betty. How's everyone doing? Good.
Good.
So tonight we've got a nice one. It was originally called Give Everything, Take Nothing.
Uh-huh.
But another good name for it, as you'll see, is Business versus Love. Being in business versus being in love.
Hmm.
So we'll look at what is the difference between those two.
What was the original title again? Give everything, take nothing?
That's right.
ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये Janaka has said how the businessman gets drowned in these tidal waves. Individual self, soul is trying to do business all the time. What is business? Getting less and giving less and getting more, isn't it? You buy something for 2 rupees and you sell it for 3 rupees or 4 rupees, whatever. That is business. Otherwise, how can a business thrive? You buy for more, you buy for 4 rupees and sell for 2 rupees, that is no business. It's not called a business. Business means taking more, giving less. Love is the opposite. Love is giving everything and taking nothing. Limited mind always does business anywhere with its own life, even with one's own life. They do business even with the breath. don't even breathe properly. A soul is trying to do business. Limited mind is trying to do business in name of love. In every relationship you find people are demanding more. And even if they give thinking they should receive much more than what they have given. One feels I have given enough. You ask any wife or any husband, any father or son or daughter, in any relation, everybody feels, oh, I did everything for my relatives. I did everything for my family. I did everything for my so and so. But what? They must be loving me. We are doing a business. We do everything in order to get love, get attention, get recognition, get something. This is business.
Is there a change?
Doing something in order to getting something is business. Either even blessing, grace. I must get some grace. I must get some time. I must get a private audience with Guruji. I am doing so much work. Come into business. I must enjoy these privileges because I am dedicated worker. Gone, you have become a businessman. In name of devotion to the individual soul is doing business. Either material gain it wants to have or some unseen spiritual experiential gain it wants. But all boils down to business. Whether joy or bliss or ananda, anything, business. In these tidal waves, the businessman, the poor businessman gets drowned. Janaka says, oh, this is a wonder. Her wonder stuck with this entire phenomenon. Only in love you can become one with, when you are ready to lose yourself into the infinite nature which is yours. Then you are totally united with the Brahman, with the infinity, with the divine. The whole mechanics is to be reversed. The limited individual becoming the infinite. Assuming its true nature back. What a wonder. It's amazing, Janaka said, how all these little minds and desires, feelings, situations arise in me, play in me, and dissolve by their very nature. Svabhavata. Now is the turn of Ashtavakra. Ashtavakra smiles at Janaka. It was the smile of A gardener who sees the garden is full of flowers now. All what he was there for working has come, is fulfilling. The bud has blossomed. The joy of the gardener is immense, inexpressible. Says, oh yes, as a king you have recognized this. Avinashinam atmanam ekam vijnaya tattvataha tavatmajnasya dhirasya katamartharjanirati. Atmagnana daho pritir vishaya brahmagochare
Yes, but
shukte rajvanato lobho yatha rajata vibhrame. Hmm? Janaka is a king, is an emperor. He had to govern the entire country. He is concerned with the welfare of the entire country, all the people in the country. Men and women and animals, crops, the whole responsibility lies on his shoulder. Someone who does not have any responsibility does not even care to do anything. He can just do whatever he wants to. If he wants, he can earn. If he doesn't want, he can keep quiet. But head of an institution, of a country, if he does not plan, if he is not looking into all that, a country means economics comes the first. Law and order, of course, and that follows economics. He had to be concerned about every little thing in the country concerning the economics. Business is the main part of any country. Prosperity is the main part of any country. He can't say, I have nothing to do with the prosperity of my people. Why should I earn money? He cannot say that. He had to be concerned with the prosperity. Ashtavakra smiles, and there is a little mischief in the smile also. Ashtavakra says, Avinashinam atmanam ekam vijnaya tattvataha. Having known this entire universe is one self, one being, one Atma, and it is indestructible. And having known this truth, how could you be interested in accumulating wealth? It's a question with a smile. How could you find joy in making your country prosperous? Or see, when you say my country, there is other country. You have to exploit some other country in order to make your country prosperous. Somewhere some exploitation is going to happen in the process of economic development of a big countries. Some countries sell arms to some other countries And by the money that comes out of the arms, that country is prospering. Some country is selling all drugs to other country. Out of those drugs, other countries are prospering. Some countries are exporting chemicals and medicines and such things, knowing very well they are not too good. And that is the basis that they prosper. Some countries destroy the very nature, cut the wood, and environmental pollution. There's a big hue and cry in the West these days. They can't stop because that is speaking badly on the economics. In this country, they're unable to stop alcoholism just because they will lose a lot of revenue. Mahatma Gandhi, all Gandhi's followers, they have been talking about Gandhi, and they never followed even one thing that Gandhi wanted alcoholism to be eradicated. And they take Gandhi's name, put garland Gandhi's statue, never they could implement. Because when they come to the table, they see the economics will be in geo-paradise if we touch that. Having understood all this, he says, how could you be interested in managing a country, in earning money and doing these things? They smile. Janaka asks, Ashtavakra asked Janaka. Ashtavakra by now very well knows that Janaka has no interest, no motivation to, he's not finding any great pleasure in making those things, but it is happening. He's doing it as a game. You know, there is something that you do from your periphery, but something that becomes your very soul. When business becomes your very soul, it eats up your soul. You get drowned. But any activity is in your periphery. Untouched remains your soul, your true nature. That is what Janaka upholds. He is here carrying the two extremes. One, total love, pure love, knowledge. And still on the outer periphery, he is being responsible for the entire country's welfare. It is a very strange, very unique situation. That makes Janaka very unique in this world. It is easy to be Buddha. Buddha just dropped everything, put on a saffron robe, sat on a tree. Anybody would come and feed him. There will be 100, 1,000 person who would come to feed him. There was nothing that he could carry on. He didn't make an ashram. He didn't make... Ashram started happening around him, no doubt. It starts happening, even then they cannot escape. People are there. When people are there, then kitchen comes and kitchen are there. Other things follow. Dhobi comes and the cloth has to be washed. And the whole paraphernalia comes, then vehicle is needed, transport is needed, and somebody to transport, and then whole thing comes. But the so-called saints, the so-called spiritual people who run away from all this, oh, I don't want any headache, let me be myself, or let me go to Himalayas, let me go sit there, eat there. get into a monastery or stay somewhere quiet all by myself. They are bewildered, they are afraid of the world. Janaka being in the world, being amidst people and having much more responsibility than any individual, ordinary, common man could attain to the highest. So this is not an impediment. The world is not an impediment. Politics is not an impediment. It is really very difficult to get to that, but it is not impossible. Atmagnana daho pritir vishaya brahmagochare. An old example in India often people used to give is the mother of pearl. Mother of pearl gives you an impression of silver, shining silver. When you see from a distance on the beach or anywhere where the mother of pearl is there, the sun shines on it and it gives you a false impression as though it is silver, and one goes near it and it's not silver, it's an illusion, optical illusion. In the same way, not knowing oneself, you start finding joy in all the sense pleasures. Where is the source of pleasure? That you are unaware and you are thinking, okay, I'll eat lots of gulab jamun, then I'll be happy. So how much gulab jamun can you eat? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Gulab jamun is a sweet, many of you don't know. We'll get that made in the ashram one day. Kripal kaha hai? गुलाब जामुन हाँ किशोर हाँ गुलाब जामुन बनवा देना कल या परसों day after tomorrow. So how much can you have it? You have limitation in your experience, isn't it? Food is nice. How much can you eat? You eat and eat and eat. How much can you eat? The same food which was giving you pleasure, joy, after a while gives you difficult, causes the pain. Same thing, music. Same thing with all other senses. Same thing with senses. Eyes. Oh, you see something beautiful, very beautiful, very beautiful. What do? You look very stupid. Okay, very beautiful. You look, touch, feel. Then what do? Good scenery. You go to Kashmir. Oh, so beautiful, so beautiful. What do you do with the mountains? You do not know. You get thoroughly confused. It's beautiful. You go on repeating mechanically. First you felt beautiful. Then when you started wording them, even that has disappeared. Only concept remains in the mind. Oh, it's beautiful. This is beautiful. This is nice. This is nice. Everything is burning you down and leaving your hands empty. You are left with ashes. Nothing. But then why all these things appear to be so nice, wonderful? Why our mind is attracted, pulled in all these directions? Says, because you do not know with the ignorance of the being, of the self, of the consciousness, the divinity. You are pulled in this direction. If you are getting some joy out of any experience, that joy is rising somewhere deep from within you, that is you. You are that joy. You get joy whether in music or in sex. That joy in sex is not in the sex, it is in yourself. The joy in company is not in company. The joy in alcohol is not in alcohol. You are simply unaware from where that delicate inner whirlpool of sensation arises, and see and able to make this whole body alive. When inner sensation arises, it enlivens every cell. You see, most of our body is dead. It's not alive. You have experienced in Kriya, when you do Kriya, what has happened. You have been whipped and whipped and whipped, and every cell is made alive and alive and alive. See that moment? How is the mind? How do you feel? What is the state of your being? Light, love and joy. It's like this, sometimes here what happens, even if you have a current, a wire, say the wire, and the switch is off, even though switch is off, there is some current coming through it. Isn't it, Jerry? Where is Jerry? Yeah? There could be some current. In India it comes anyway. You put the switch off. But that current is not sufficient enough to make the bulb glow. But if you switch on, what is happening? The whole power is moving through the line. You can get shock, but light will not come. Sometimes the boilers give you shock. Water heaters, but it doesn't heat the water. There is current passing into the boiler, but this happens sometimes. There is current in the wire, but it is not full, it's not alive. So everyone is living, there is some current, otherwise you can't be, there won't be anything, there are no movements. Everybody is living, but living with the feeble current. Zero current almost. Almost zero current. Everybody is living, the bodies are getting older, bigger and whatever, and then one finish up. It's unlit, not energized, and the power does not arise in it. And the entire sadhana, all the practices, meditation, is all what? Is to remove that inertia in the body. It is the inertia that puts you down, that makes you like rock. If you have even once gone through the Kriya, you have understood, that what happens at the time, see, you become more and more alive. Meditation, even few times meditation, one knows what does it mean by silence or peace. Many do not even know this. Because they are so used to being agitated and they continue being there. Then it appears as though that is life. The source is blocked. One's own accession to it. Atma Gnana Aho Pritir Vishya Brahma Gochare. By the knowledge of self, one discovers, oh, I am love, the source of love. All is love. And the joy appeared to be in this little thing, that little thing, and that little thing. It is just an illusion, like the silver in the mother of pearl. What do you think is joy? A sensation arising in you, isn't it? An intense sensation in you, isn't it? And say, you observe, you look, and you see all the sensation are arising here in, and they're coming out, falling off. Vishwam spurati yatredam taranga iva sagare soha masmiti vignaya kim dhina iva dhavasi. Vishwam spurati yatredam taranga iva sagare. Like waves in the ocean, the entire universe is springing from me, from inside me. I am all this. I am the infinite ocean. When you can get in touch with your own ocean, with your own infinite true nature, then he says, how is it? How will you, as a very meek person, run here and there for this and that? Kim dhina iva dhavasi. What is it you are running after? Here and there, here and there. What is it you are running after? All the desires, arise when your mind is not fully conscious. Semi-conscious mind is the mother of desire. If it is unconscious, no desire comes. In sleep, there is no desire. And when the mind is fully awake, then also there is no desire, because all is already there. Desire means what? Lack of joy, lack of fulfillment, and wanting of fulfillment and wanting of joy. Simple thing, isn't it? I'm not saying it should be, it should not be. If desires arise, you throw them. I'm telling nothing of those. See that? When they are there, they are there. When the desires are there, they are there. What do you have to do? Become more and more conscious. Knowing your nature, Shritvapi Shuddha Chaitanyam Atmanam Ati Sundaram. You have heard me saying now, oh, yourself is joy, you are beautiful and you are great, and you are the world and you are the God, you are all that is. Even having heard this, it doesn't really register deep inside. You have read in the books, you have heard so many times. Ashtavakra says the same thing. Though you have heard, it's not the first time you are hearing from me. Shuddha Chaitanya, you are pure. You have heard you are pure, still you feel you are a sinner. You have heard you are so beautiful, still you feel you are very ugly. You have heard so many times, you are beautiful. but you don't feel yourself very beautiful. Even having heard all this, you are desiring for what? It's a sort of wonder and not a question. He wonders, how is it? It's really wonder how to say that in spite of this, you are interested in, one may get interested in small things. Desire for small things, lust for small things. So just hearing is not enough. That comes in every cell of our body. The liveliness of consciousness. Become alive from every cell of your being, and the desires automatically vanishes. We don't need to wait for it. When will it happen? Right now. Be more alive. Be more alive. Morning when you get up, you should feel the infinite sky. Become aware of your nature. That's what we do now. Morning the chant, we chant in this long courses. Pratas smarami manasad bhutamantarabham. In the morning I remember my nature. What is it? I am Adbhuta. I am the most amazing, wonderful being. Pratasmarami manasa adbhutamantharabham jyotirmayam sakala papatamaprahartram. I am this infinite being, endless and pure and full of light and love. This is what I am. Remembering, reliving this, the day should begin. Like the sun comes up. Now I have gotten up of the sleep. Sun has come up. Sleepy sun has gone to rest. Now the sun in you has come up. Remembering our origin, our true nature, we walk in the morning, feeling float like the cloud on the earth. You don't walk, you simply float. Remember your nature. What other things, little things and little disturbance, little some irritation from this corner or that corner, this corner. This is no end to this. A cockroach can irritate you. One mosquito can go on irritating you whole night. And if you happen to be in a place where there is no light, you can't even catch that mosquito. Becomes a and they go on singing. You are even ready to donate a little blood for it, but when they sing, it irritates you more. Disturbs, puts you off from your sleep. Here, irritation, there is no end to it. It goes on. Some X, Y, Z will be there to irritate you. Anyway in life, sometime. I'm not telling you shouldn't get irritated. This is another thing. Oh, Panditji said, I shouldn't get irritated. I got irritated today. I am bad. I shouldn't get irritated. I should change. I will never change. Perhaps this is not my place. This is not my nature. Perhaps I can never do it, maybe even in 10 lifetimes. All these things go on in your mind. You think about lifetimes. I am fed up with this. You are fed up with what? With yourself? This is what is called Maya. Huh? Maya is illusion. An illusion in the mind about the fleeting events, as though this is reality. I tell you, this is its nature. The world's nature is to cause you irritation. If the world doesn't cause you irritation, it is no world. Be sure that, and it is for your good. It's doing you good, otherwise you will be stuck there forever. You are stuck in a world which irritates you. Think about a world which never irritates you. You will be stuck with it forever. You will be even more deeply stuck in it. You will never get out of it. Never turn yourself towards you. So all these things in the world is for you to turn into yourself, for your own growth, for you to look into the being. That much for today. Huh? Jai Gurudev.
He's hey there. Pretty powerful stuff, right? Did anyone else have some zingers that you felt just hit really hard? I am in awe, Padma says. Yeah, would anyone like to share what it was for them?
Well, I'm actually really like the last thing he just shared with about what did he just say? He just said like, if the world was like just good, just like really pleasant and nice and there was no problems, like you'd be stuck there. And honestly, I'm kind of understanding that. Like I'm understanding why certain aspects of my life, the past, like that happened because, it helped me seek help internally and it helped me like actually get into things like meditation, yoga, bettering myself in many different ways. So honestly, like it brings me gratitude. Like it actually like I'm actually really grateful for so many things because of that. So yeah.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, that last part hits really hard. If the world doesn't irritate you, it's no world. The world is there to irritate you and it's for your good. And like Steve was sharing, it's what makes us turn inwards. But that's such a wake-up call, right? The mind can get in this habit of, oh, this thing is annoying, this person is annoying. Like, wake up. That's the way it is. That's the way it's going to be.
I think
Lisa, or
what
Vivian?
hit me,
You're on mute, Vivian.
I thought it was wonderful, the idea of waking up every morning and singing whatever that prayer was. Is that something that's a practice in India? Like every morning you wake up and you sing that you are everything. You're you're infinite. I I thought that was great.
Super powerful, right?
Mm.
I am going to cut that up. I'm going to put on the editing and I'll send everyone in this group a link to that that's song. It's
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's so nice. I've been meaning to do that for the longest time, and I haven't yet. Yeah.
Thank you. I was struck by him saying that doing anything basically to get something is also business, that you have become a businessman. And that really struck home. And of course, at beginning, love is giving everything and taking nothing, which is the opposite of business, is giving less and getting more, which we see. But doing anything to get something is, and he even likened it to, doing things to get enlightened because you want to get something. So it's just through all levels, all the dimensions in spiritual life and in the mundane life that really struck me of the times that I've done something subtle or not, because I actually wanted to get something from that. Yeah.
And what happens if you do notice, as soon as you shift from that, what am I going to get, to, okay, I'm just here, or I'm giving. Do you see how there's also this change in your body? The tension of that getting and grasping drops away. It's quite profound. San, you had your hand up?
Sorry, I didn't mean to put my hand up while you were talking. That's what I had jotted down too, that those desires are your nature, and to know it's your nature and to be aware of it. It's again that dichotomy, that kind of holding, and rather than judging or blaming, being aware, and it's kind of a joke. I mean,
Lisa?
Yeah, building on what Sam is saying, the message from me kind of catapults me again into, so the source of our joy is coming from inside. We think it's the things on the outside, but the source of our misery is also the inside, and we think it's the outside. And then that we are that, we're all of that, and we hold all of that, and all of those aspects are us, like we're all these facets. It's pretty wondrous.
It does sound like a joke as well, right? Yeah, it's wondrous. Padma, did you have your hand up?
Yes, I'm just so in awe of this series. It's like, it's huge. It's like these revelations, but it's also so calming. It's like this blanket. It's very soothing. And yet there is a little bit of melancholy, like this, because like, what's the point? Because everything is going to come to an end anyway, like, so there's this feeling of wow, endless, enormous universe, and then there's this feeling of like, what's the point? It is a joke. It's like, it is such a joke, because it's who knows when, right? It's all coming to an end. It's all yeah. So again, I'm kind of just dealing with this like opposites. Like Guruji, I think in the last lecture, he said the purpose of life is evolving, constantly evolving. That's kind of what we are doing, evolving. And every time a storm comes, there is like a death. We are going to this next level. But a part of me is thinking, yeah, I mean, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm better off without those storms. But then my likes and dislikes, I'm not a doer at all. I'm just like watching, right? These waves are happening. they're just coming and going. So it's a lot. It's really a lot. The very last sentence that I think first Steve talked about, that if everything went our way, then we'll be stuck in it forever. I want to understand what's the problem with that. Like what if I know that's I'm putting it like that, but can you explain that? Like, what's the problem if you're stuck in something great that's happening?
Yeah, so imagine you're in your home and you're comfortable and things are okay. But like you said, there's a certain, whether you call it melancholy or just, there's only so much happiness or comfort that gives you. And so at a certain point in the journey, you find, okay, the big problem isn't outside, like Lisa was reflecting, it's inside. And also the big joy, the biggest comfort, the biggest happiness, the great is all inside. And if we get to that point naturally, well and good. But here the point that he's making is that sometimes it is the irritations that get us to turn inward, to stop trying to find the big in the small things outside. Like decorating your living room can be a lovely thing. You know, it can be fun to change the curtains, get a new plant. These are all little things though, right? And when we try and attach a great joy or happiness in that, it's not there. It's like trying to find the silver in the mother of pearl, like he was saying. So that's where
Also,
that irritation can be good.
I'm also thinking, like while you were speaking, I was wondering if there was another point that I think in the previous videos he said that if there's only dark, then you won't know light. If there's only light, you won't even know what dark is. So I guess if it's always good, then you don't know you don't know that it's good, right? Unless something bad happens. Like, how do you even know it's good if there's only good going on? I don't know. It's just
Actually, I think there is an assumption here you're making that, I mean, to your question as to why is it not okay to be where you are, right? But there's an assumption that it's always going to be good, right? But unfortunately, the storms are such that, right, it may not be that great, right, continuously. So that's another point where that's one of the reasons as to most of the seekers want to get out of this, because the Maya is so powerful. It seems like you can handle it, but then until you get to face those situations where you feel you cannot handle it, and then there is that feeling of helplessness and wanting to get out of this whole thing, right? um, and that's the nature of the world, as he says, be it irritation or that illusion or delusion aspect of it.
It's interesting, it also takes us back full circle. If you remember the very beginning, and he talked about blessed are the bored. That Janaka's running up against this thing where, okay, he has everything, but he's still bored. He's not yet free. So here again, it's saying, okay, there's this blessing in this thing if it takes you beyond by hook or by crook. If it's helping you to go into the inside, into the greatness, the expanse of your own consciousness and infinity, okay. What a good thing. Even if it feels painful and you don't like it while it's going on.
Thank you.
But Padma, that sounds like a good thing to ponder on for a while, that question in your mind of, okay, light and dark. Yeah, I would just sit with it some.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that, sooner or later, that 10th spoonful of sugar just doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so funny. And he asked this great question.
I love that.
Where is your joy? And I think if we also just sit with that this week, some powerful reflection will, okay, where is joy? Where am I looking for joy? Because the question is also, where do I consider, even looking at my actions, what am I chasing? What am I preoccupied with? What am I at some level thinking? Okay, behind this curtain, something's going to satisfy me or be great. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So just sitting, okay, where am I chasing? Where am I? Like San was sharing what Gurudev said about desire and awareness. So easing in, just becoming more aware without the judgment, just okay, more awareness of the desire.
Yeah, I actually have this like reoccurring practice that I do. Like I don't have like a set schedule for it, but when I remember to do it, I tend to talk to my cells and like uh you know make sure they're actually feeling joy and bliss, and I'm not because I understand that I'm able to give it to my cells of my body and not I don't need some outside substance. Like I have to keep on kind of reminding myself and my body that so I love when Sri Sri Gurudev was sharing that part. I actually really relate to that. Um Andrew, I was wondering though, is it okay if I share my answer to the that question
Yeah, sure.
for last week? Okay. So in terms of what storms are there in my life right now or recently, um the storms that have been coming up mainly were things like, like this is unfair, kind of thing, like, oh man, this is so unfair. Like I why, like when will these injuries ever end? Like I just don't understand why like stuff like this is happening to me, da da da. Thoughts like that would come. I've been meaning to actually, you know, stop really interacting with those thoughts though in that storm and just letting it be. And then so like what happens when you stop internally resisting? There was actually one point where I was sitting in the kitchen, um and like I wanted to complain to my aunt. I wanted to complain and rant and just like go off on like how everything is so bad right now for me and this is so unfair. Da da da. But I just sat there the whole time and I closed my eyes and I was just like deep breathing and I was just observing and I was like, I'm not gonna do it. Nope, not this time. I'm just gonna observe. And I noticed like it was actually a lot, like it was getting intense. And there were points where I wanted to cry and but it was funny because like when I was actually allowing myself to cry, it didn't cry. Like I didn't cry, but it just went away. It passed. So that was just very interesting. It was like the most interesting experience of like what happens when I stop internally resisting. And yeah.
Thanks
So
for sharing, Steve.
yeah, of course. Thank you.
Did anyone else try this thing of not resisting and welcoming the storms? It's good, right? And did you see how it kind of like Steve was showing it gets stronger for a point, and then you're also through it. And then you realize, oh, it was taking more effort to hold it back than it was to just experience it. Does anyone else want to share what their experience with that was?
I could, if unless someone else wants to. Or...
Sure, please.
So just this morning, I mean, I'm at a friend's house. I'm helping her. She has had a knee replacement, so I'm kind of playing the role of an assistant. And so I woke up, and pardon my French, but this is the first word that I heard. Oh shit! And so the toilet was plugged apparently, and then the dishwasher broke, and then there was a leak in the cellar. This is all today, and you know, my first reaction was to just watch, you know, just watch it and help if I can help. And it, you know, things are just piling on. And you know, I'm not in my own home right now, but still, you know, I could see the level of upset that was going on around me, people here that do live here. And then I felt I had the privilege of the sort of the life jacket of this knowledge, you know, this homework was really forefront in my mind. And I found myself wishing that could be the case for the people around me as well, sort of like a prayer or whatever. They're so useful. It's just so practical. It's just so practical. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Good. And for this week, we'll also have this nice song to remind us of all these beautiful things. And I'll send that out along with the replay.
Great.
Wishing you all a good week ahead. Good seeing you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jai Gurudev.
Thank you.
Thank you,
so
Jai
much.
Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.
Thanks. Bye.